about to get real here. I'm talking real, truthful, and vulnerable. Hi everybody, my name is Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you don't know me, I'm the owner of FrozenPennies.com. I'm a financial coach, and as a family, we are debt-free. I recently watched a video from George Camel. If you don't know him, he is a part of Ramsey Solutions. He's a millennial, he's cute, he's funny. He did 7 things that basically saved him in a financial way. So I thought that I would make one too. I was inspired and I thought it was time to have a video like this for us midlife women, 40, 50, 60 somethings. So here are 10 things that changed my financial life. A quick story here. In 2005, I almost lost our house to foreclosure. Now, if you are on my email list, you may already know this interesting stuff, but I have always been super frugal. I was raised by a frugal woman. My grandmother was frugal. We come from a long line of frugal women. My problem was that I didn't know how to manage money. I knew how to find a bargain. Man, I could hunt out the cheapest price for clothing, but I didn't know how to manage it all. And I get a lot of these questions from emailers from our community who have the same problem. So if you're looking for not the budget planner that I have, but literally, how do you budget? Once you get the numbers and you throw the numbers down into that piece of paper, what do you do then? If you want a video like that, let me know in the comments. So in 2005 and earlier, I got married in 1997. In those times, I had 2 babies, one with special needs. They were 2.5 years apart, and I was a stay-at-home mom. Money was tight. Cars broke down. Hot water heaters went. Mortgage and taxes went up just a little bit. The boys were getting older, so groceries were more expensive. I made the mistake of paying everything first instead of paying the mortgage. Now, my thought process was, as a young mom, my husband was trusting me to pay the bills and to pay the mortgage and to take care of the budget. So I thought if I didn't have money for groceries, well, then he would know. And you can't do things like not pay your car insurance or pay your electric bill because they'll take your car away or they will turn off your lights. My thought was that if I didn't pay the mortgage, I could just as easily catch up. Well, little did I know that after 2 months of not paying the mortgage, I tried to pay that 2 months I had built up a little stockpile, pay that 2 months worth of mortgage. I sent the check in and they returned the check to me, stating that it was too late. Come to find out, they were able to work with us as new home buyers. I was explaining to them, I told them I had proof that all of these things had happened and we had kind of hit a little bit of a hardship. They refinanced that mortgage for me and everything was fine. But that was a huge lesson to me. And I was never, ever late with the mortgage again. So here are some of those hard lessons that I learned and how these lessons actually changed my financial life. Number 1, you know it's coming. You know I'm going to say it. You must have a budget. And not only should you have a budget, but you need to work the budget. You need to learn how the budget actually works. Instead of just feeding in the numbers, you need to actually come up with a plan of action and make sure that budget fits your life. If you are looking for a free budget planner, this is a free, printable, downloadable budget. I'm going to leave a link below. Read financial books. Books like these from the library will help you get a better understanding of how to manage money. The library and I were best friends in those days. I was there all the time. I can remember grabbing a stack of books, anything to do with money, and taking them all out at once. I must have had 12 to 15 books at a time that I was reading, trying to find a system that worked for me. And I can tell you that this book is really the one that changed everything. I borrowed this book multiple times from the library until I actually just decided to buy my own. I got it off of Amazon. I mean, this is the same book that I've had, and you can see there's still pages marked. There's things outlined in here, underlined and highlighted and marked and dog-eared and folded. I really do credit this book right here to getting us out of debt completely. Use cash as much as you possibly can. Get yourself some of those junk mail envelopes and write on it what your categories are. Make your own cash envelope wallet or get a wallet like this. This is the Bella Taylor cash envelope wallet. It's got a zipper pouch and spots to put cash in. You can even use their own little labels to make your own categories. I think that using cash, specifically on the things that you tend to spend the most money on, like groceries or personal care or clothing, you should use cash, because when the money is gone for the month, then you're all done. I also really enjoyed using cash for Christmas time because in-person Christmas shopping was a real thing. Now with all of the shopping done online, it's best to make yourself a small savings account attached or unattached to your checking account to store your Christmas money in every single month. By the way, this isn't real money. Bought this on Amazon for like $6. If you can see, it actually says copy on it right there. This is fake money, but it really does come in handy for props. Also, I'm going to leave a link for this Bella Taylor wallet in the description if you're interested, as well as my favorite Savvy Sense wallet, which for some reason I can't find. I still have it. It's my favorite. I'll leave a link for that below too. Next, cook at home. Now, I'm not a great cook. I mean, I'm a good cook, but I'm not a great cook. And mostly it's because I really don't like to cook. It's not part of my passion. If money were no object and I won the lottery, you better believe the very first thing that I would do would be to hire somebody to come in and cook meals. Good, healthy, wholesome meals for my family. Back in the day, I didn't have any money, so I really didn't have a choice. So I cooked everything, and I cooked it from scratch. From the bread, to the cookies, to the dinners, to the breakfasts. We actually had a bread maker that we got for a wedding gift when we got married in 1997 that I used for years. And when that died, my mom found me another one at a thrift store. Cooking your meals from scratch at home means not only will you not have the going out to dinner or the delivery cost, but it also means that your food is healthier and your grocery budget is going to drastically be reduced. You're going to be only buying ingredients. You're not going to be buying actual full meal foods, which for me, that meant no convenience food either. I was not buying the cookies, I was buying the ingredients to make the cookies. Now let's talk about money mindset and self-improvement, because for me, this was huge. It truly changed my financial life. It might have even changed my financial life a little bit more than Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. I really had to work at who I wanted to be, and the behaviors that I had in the past needed to change. So when I said to myself, I'm super frugal, but I'm not good with money, I had to change that whole thought process in my head to convince myself that I was an excellent budget maker, and I could make the promise to myself and follow through every single month, or for us every 2 weeks, because I actually budgeted paycheck by paycheck, which is what my budget planner is all about. Not only was I reading all of the financial books, but I was reading all of the money mindset books and the self-improvement books that I could get my hands on. Not only was this part of my past, but it's also part of my present and will forever be part of my future. I am a lifelong learner. I love to read books. So anything that I could do to make myself better in any area that I am is really probably that book is going to be on my nightstand. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at my nightstand, and yes, there are 2 self-development books over there and 1 kind of relaxing romance, low-key, I think Debbie McComber is her name, book that I can read before I go to bed at night, because I can't do self-improvement work. It makes my wheels turn too much. I am now a person who's not only excellent at budgeting and manage money, but I'm also the kind of person that money comes easily to me. My husband teases me every once in a while when something will happen and I'll end up with money. He always says money goes to money. He really gets me after all these years. The next thing I learned to change my financial life was to really enjoy the free and low-cost activities. Things like music in the park, and I've talked about Shakespeare in the Park, where I live the next town over every August for the entire week. They do Shakespeare in the Park. Now, I love it. I love to watch these Shakespeare plays. I was an English major in college, so anything to do with Shakespeare makes my heart happy. I watch the play. My husband watches the people. We bring a picnic lunch, and we do this still to this day. We also love all over the place, all over our area. Every single park in town seems to be having music in the park at least once a week. We love to go watch the music. We love to grab a cup of coffee or bring our own, depending on where we're going, and listen to some good music. We also still really love camping, and we've come a long way since pitching a tent in the state campground when our boys were young. I still remember the time when my dad let us borrow his pop-up camper. Yeah, there was a little mouse family being born in the camper, but that's beside the point. We really did get hooked then and there on a camper and camping in general. Back then it was like, gosh, I think it was $10 a night to camp in state campgrounds. And we're still going to the same state campgrounds today. Now it's up to $22 a night, but that's still a pretty decent bargain. Becoming a preschool teacher really did change my financial life. As soon as my youngest went to kindergarten, I started substitute teaching at the preschool where he went. Now, the women that ran the preschool, I had pretty much known all of my life, which is one of the reasons why he went there. Once he went to kindergarten, they asked me if I would start substituting, and I thought, sure, it'll give me a little something to do. It brought me in an extra few $100s a month, which really helped our budget. It gave me extra money for Christmas gifts, gave me a little extra money for groceries if needed, and it also really did help us put more money toward our debt to pay that off faster. I did that for almost 10 years, and by the time I decided I was done with preschool to do other things, I was the assistant director of the preschool. And next, store jumping. Now this is what I call it when you basically go from store to find the best deals. I'll give you an example here. Way back in the day, and I still do this, by the way, way back in the day, I would wait until my boys were tucked into bed at 7:30 at night. I would head out to do groceries. Now there was a couple of reasons why I did that. I wanted to do it when there wasn't anybody around. And you would be surprised at how empty the stores are at 7:30 at night. I would go from town to town. First, I would hit Aldi. Anything that I couldn't find at Aldi, I would go to Walmart for. And then I would also have on my plan of action all of the sales from the bigger, more luxurious, high-end grocery stores. They do great sales. They have fantastic loss leaders, but the rest of their stuff is too expensive. So I would hit all of those places, and I would end up getting home at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. But I knew that all of the places were in one area, and I could hit all of them without a lot of gas money and really do the best I can with our grocery budget. And I still do this many times. I'll hit Aldi for the things that I know that they have and they do well and they do at the best prices. And then I'll do a Walmart pickup for the rest. And lastly, allowing and celebrating my practical, frugal side. My husband and I were chatting about vehicles, and the conversation came up where I said, you know, if we had lots of money, if money was no object, would I buy a fancy car? Would I buy a Mercedes or a Lincoln or a Cadillac or some fancy sports car? And my son's like, no way. And my husband's like, I can't imagine you doing that. I really like my 2015 Chrysler Town and Country minivan. And my husband says, you like it because it's practical. It fits everybody. We have our third grandchild coming, and it will fit everybody in that if we want to go do something fun. Not only will it fit the family, it will also fit all of my groceries. Because I do one grocery outing every other week, and I still hit all of the stores, all of the errands happen at once, I can fit the BJ's, the groceries, the Target, the Walmart, everything in my minivan at once. Plus, when we travel with our minivan, we can also fit everything that we need in that minivan to travel, embracing my strong suits and the things that I find value in the most really has affected my financial life. And if I could go back to tell my late 20, early something human way back then these lessons and save her from the heartache that she endured, I absolutely would. Please tell me your biggest frugal lessons that you have learned in the last 20, 30 years so we can all share and benefit in the Frozen Pennies community. And I wanted to let you know that Uncle Frank reminds you, if you like these videos, to please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and hit that bell if you want to be notified. And thank you for being a part of the Frozen Pennies community. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.